Hey guys, how we doing today? It's Wally with Internet.com. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today I wanted to take out a few moments to talk about WPX. WPX Hosting is a managed WordPress hosting platform that you may be considering to either launch your website or maybe migrate over from another provider and to use them going forward. So what we're going to be doing today is talking about several things, not only cost and affordability, but I also wanted to touch on uptime performance, which really describes how reliable a web hosting provider is. Obviously, we need to talk about security, because whatever web hosting provider that you use to create or launch your website online, it needs to be secure. Customer support is extremely important. These areas that I'm talking about, guys, are just things that really matter most to me. Hopefully it matters to you too, because again, when you launch your website, there are tons of web hosting providers out there. Some are very cheap and some are very expensive. And it really doesn't matter if you're going for really cheap or you're going to really expensive. You really need to have these elements in place before you open your wallet. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today in this YouTube video. If you guys like that, go ahead and smash the like button. Show your love on this YouTube channel, and also subscribe to this channel. That way, future videos that I upload, you'll be sure to receive them. Keep in mind, guys, that with this WPX hosting a review, I will drop some links right below that'll help you guys to save with your purchase today. So with WPX hosting, they're really known for their fast page loads and excellent customer service. You can't go too many places online and not hear something about WPX hosting's services. That's really what they stand out for. Fast page loads and excellent customer service. The customer service is not phone based. It's all like email and chat. It's really fast, and that's something off back that I really love about like their managed hosting services off back, right? And so I'm really about customer support, because you just never know if you have like questions about your website, something's not right, maybe you don't understand something, you need help. It's nothing like being able to get in contact with the web hosting provider, right? And most people prefer phone, but for me it really doesn't matter. What does matter is, can I get in contact with somebody when I need them? I wanted to talk about some other features, guys, some features that WPX offers that no other web hosting provider has. At least the vast majority of them that you will see online don't offer. So when it comes to like security, with malware, websites are bombarded with malware, viruses, Trojans. All of these things, are a problem for any website online. And when you think about it, I was thinking about like a stat that came to mind where I think it mentioned that an upwards of like 30,000 websites are hacked like by the minute. I thought that was a staggering number itself, and I tried to check other references online just to see if they were in accord, with each other, and it said like 30 to like 50,000. So I mean, we're talking about a lot of websites that are, infected with either malware or some type of virus. And so when you think about these things, I'm mentioning this because with WPX, they have a malware remover service. And so what that means is that if your website is infected with malware, they will remove it for you. I mention this because if you were to outsource this service to somebody outside, maybe like a web developer or so, it could cost you an upwards of $200-300, maybe several $100s or more, just to remove the malware from your files and your databases. And so in the case of WPX hosting, they actually have that included, right? So you're saving a lot of money both on the front and back end by using WPX's hosting. What do you guys think about that? So that's just one feature of many that I wanted to mention, guys, and that way you'll appreciate the true value that you're getting with any of the web hosting packages that you decide to go with today. They have a really nice interface. It's very easy to use, even for beginners. You don't have to have like a lot of like technical experience. It's pretty easy to be able to launch your WordPress website itself. There's a really nice dashboard that they have, and I think overall there's not like a lot of clutter a lot of things that you need to like figure out, and so it takes away a lot of the confusion. If you're familiar with like cPanel, there are a lot of options. Most web hosting providers online use cPanel, and that's fine if you're accustomed to that, but in the case of like WPX, they have their own WordPress dashboard, and I just really love how the features and everything is set up. So let's go back to page loads itself. I talked a little bit about that, about performance, speed, and how it's it's very important to have a web hosting provider that is keen to speed itself. Google looks for fast loading pages. Per Google themselves, with thinkwithgoogle.com, they mentioned that a website that loads under 3 seconds, so from 1 to 3 seconds, if a website loads in that time, it's likely that a visitor will stay on your website. And that's what you want, essentially, right? If somebody's Googling for you right now and they see your website in the search results, and they decide to click on your website, but it takes longer than 3 seconds to load, that's a problem, right? So they're likely to abandon your website, go to your competitors, which means, one, you're going to lose a visitor, a potential customer, and obviously revenue, right? And so obviously you want a web hosting provider that is on speed, promotes very fast speeds, on their servers, and that's exactly what you're getting with WPX hosting. On average, websites have seen to load at right about a second, 2 seconds on the high, and so it's really, really fast, which means that they have very optimized servers, really nice infrastructure, guys, and all of this promotes very reliable performance. Some other things that I wanted to mention that WPX has is they do have their own CDN, a content delivery network. So they have that fully integrated already, with your websites itself. That way you don't have to outsource it from another, company itself. And so all of this helps with the reliability, with their data centers that they have, whichever one that you decide to connect with. It helps to promote fast page loads, guys, and a better user experience. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the security aspect. I talked about malware, but obviously when you think about like brute attacks, DDoS attacks, this is just something that we can all, come up against, online. Maybe you visit a website and maybe the website itself has malware, or again, somebody's trying to hack into your website itself. It's nothing like having that 24/7 protection itself. And so again, in the case of a WPX, this is something that I wanted to mention to you guys, that there are a lot of services out there that do charge and upwards of $200–300 out there. One in particular is Encapsula, but that's already fully integrated in your actual plans itself. And so you get this service on the front end. That way, again, you can keep your websites protected 24/7 against DDoS attacks, malware, hackers, and anything that could possibly interrupt your website online. So again, I just wanted to mention that, guys, with security, and again how much WPX is like all over security. Staging, WPX offers that as well. And obviously if you want to like create a website but you want to test it first in a staging environment, you can do that, and then of course deploy or launch the website online. This is something that they have as well. Another thing that I wanted to mention, guys, to you in this WPX Hosting Review is that they have really, really great uptime performance. So we talked about page loads. Obviously if someone is Googling and using specific keywords and they eventually land up on your website needs to be up online when people are searching for you. In the case of WPX hosting, they maintain an average of 99.95% uptime. Amazing. The vast majority of web hosting providers online, guys, as you may have seen or experienced, and maybe if you're hosting right now with a web hosting provider and you're thinking about migrating over to WPX, most of them average 99.9. That's just an industry standard. Vast majority of them serve that particular uptime, but in the case of WPX hosting, it's much stronger. So that's what you're getting today, guys. When you invest in your web hosting, you need to invest in a web hosting provider that is reliable. when your website is down or you experience spouts or spurts of like downtime, it means that your website will lose exposure, credibility, and obviously revenue. Nobody wants to lose money online. And so, in the case of WPX, they're super reliable guys. And again, with all of these things in place, with the CDNs, fast page loads, it just promotes a really great user experience across the board, and that's what you want, guys. They also have daily backups. That way, in the event something does happen to your website, unfortunately, you can just restore it within a click. And so I think that you need that. Everybody needs that, and it's something that comes, with their hosting itself. Now, if you want to migrate your website today, you can do that by using the links below. When you set up your account, guys, you can request a free site migration. WPX will migrate your website. No charge at all to do this. You don't have to worry about experiencing like any downtime, with that. It's a very smooth transition to move your current website. Really doesn't matter what provider it's with. You can move them over to WPX's servers. So you can do that today, guys, by using the links below. There are 3 different plans that you can select from. There's a startup plan itself. There's a second tier and then a third tier itself. Each one of these plans offers this unique benefits. If you are a beginner online or just somebody who doesn't need to create a lot of websites, I highly recommend just going with the very first tier itself. When you do, it's going to allow you guys to create up to 5 websites. So I love that, WPX gives you like the flexibility of being able to create like so many, websites like on the front end itself. That's one of the huge pros that I wanted to mention. I mean, not only with the fast speeds, the great uptime, the excellent customer support, but even on the very first tier, you can create up to 5 WordPress websites. Most web hosting providers online on their very first tier only allow you to create just 1 site. And it may be true that you only need to create just 1 site. But if you have like other projects that you want to accomplish, down the road, it's nothing like being able to, again, to create an additional website under the same account, and that way you don't have to worry, about that. So there's the business plan, the professional plan, the elite plan itself, guys. With the first tier itself, the business plan, right now, if you guys get started today, it's only $20.83 per month. With the professional plan itself, which is the next tier up, it's only $41.58 per month, and the elite plan is only $83.25 per month. So with these price points that are here, guys, we're talking about annual plans itself. It's recommended to go with an annual plan, although you could go month to month if that's your preference. I recommend with any web hosting provider to just buy the web hosting up front. You could buy a couple of years up front, maybe like a year, 2 years, 3 years, and so on. And that way you can save a lot more money, both on the front and back end, of course, with renewals and that. And so obviously, with WPX hosting itself, it's not the cheapest web hosting provider that's out there. As I mentioned before in the beginning of this WPX hosting review, that there are tons of cheap web hosting providers that are online where you may pay like $2 a month, $3 a month, $5 a month, stuff like that, and that's okay, right? But the downside of that is that, one, you're going to have frequent downtime, which means that you're going to lose exposure online. You're going to create a bad experience, bad user experience for people that are coming through, Google, Yahoo, and Bing. And also you're gonna lose revenue. That's what you're gonna lose, because obviously if your website is not online as frequently as it should, it means that you're gonna lose money. That's the reality of it. A lot of times with these cheap hosts that make it really easy for you to get started with. And again, if that's what you want, you can do that. I'm not knocking that at all, right? The security may not be as great, and also the customer service may not be as fast, like maybe with Bluehost, HostGator, a lot of these popular brands that are out there where it's very cheap for beginners to get in, but customer service waits are very long. You could be on the phone maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes sometimes even longer, and you might have to have somebody call you back when they're available. And if you have an emergency like right now that needs to be tended to, you want somebody to be on the phone or to be able to address this issue that you have. And so in the case of WPX, they're extremely fast, guys. Although they only offer email and chat support, they respond really fast, and they specialize 100% in managed WordPress hosting. That's all they do. And so again, with a lot of alternatives, competitors that are out there, guys, they may offer managed WordPress hosting, but do they really specialize in that? And so this is one of like the big pluses of going with WPX, versus like a lot of the competitors that are out there. You have a 30-day money back guarantee. You can use PayPal. I really love PayPal. It's so convenient with that. Or you can use like any major credit card today to purchase your web hosting itself. And so what do you guys think about WPX? Which are the 3 plans that you think would be ideal for you? Do you think you're going to start with the startup plan, the business plan that allow you to host 5 websites? Do you think maybe the professional plan, the second tier, will be for you? Or do you think maybe the elite plan would be for you? Let me know right below, guys, which of these 3 plans you think would be best for you. Again, I did drop some links right below in the description portion of this video. That way you guys can get started today, okay? If you haven't done so already, give this video a like. Show your support on this YouTube channel by subscribing today, and that way future videos that I upload, you guys will be sure to receive them. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video from the beginning to the end. Hope you have an amazing day and much success in your endeavors of launching your website with WPX. Take care.